Dan was saying, we need to be a little careful because we perhaps a little franchise watch heavy at times, and he said that we didn't.
That's
want to
a franchise clock.
Didn't want to end up with a show that was just purely Dons fans being told what idiots they are. And we decided that actually sounded like a better idea than most of the stuff we do.
Well, it's better than up to show up to know. That's
if anybody wants to spend an hour of their time being told how rubbish they are, I am available just to do that for you personally. That is a service that I offer.
The lengths you'll go to get a date, that's not going to work, that one.
Didn't
okay.
last time.
Franchise watch. If any Spurs fan says they wouldn't mind moving to MK, they should seriously re-evaluate themselves.
But if it is MK, at least it's just up the road.
MK away last year was a mad ting. There might be a typo in there. But I frankly refuse to ever attend Milton Keynes Dons versus Preston North End ever again. I'm guessing that was from a Bolton fan.
I would think so, yeah. Milton Keynes FC, the ISIS of football, drop the Dons.
I won't rest until you drop the Dons. You aren't and never will be Dons.
Do you think they actually don't rest? Because that would be really kind of funny if they can't rest.
I was looking at
that was typed while on an exercise bike.
Yes, I won't rest. I will keep up.
I was looking at him on the old Twitter this morning. Lovely dog he's got, it really is. Right, I mean, carry on.
Why didn't any of you mugs support Milton Keynes City? Bandwagon jumpers who stole a club.
I prefer bandwagon clubbers who stole a jumper. I think that's what I want to be. I used to go and see Milton Keynes City. Will he be announcing that Milton Keynes are going to drop the Dons? #franchise, #team stealers.
MK Dons, a franchise club in Milton Keynes, is an anagram of Tinsel Monkey.
That's where it came from.
That.
This was it. This was the Leytonstone man.
There's a little bit missed off the next bit that I can remember, so I'm going to add it on. What we absolutely do in MK Dons today, hate the manager, the franchise and the stadium so much, #still going.
Oh, was it that one?
That one.
That's how to really, slag us off and then still come and give us your money. That's fantastic.
This next one I'm going to sit back and just take all this on.
It's not even your club. Go milk a plastic cow with your plastic plug socket fake football club. And we don't get plastic plug socket.
There is a prize or offer if someone can tell us
what that is.
If any of you, and it is Milton Keynes, so most of you probably are from a London overspill, then and you know Cockney Rhyme and slang, then please do write to us at the usual address and explain to us what plastic plug socket actually means.
Joke's on you, really. Who did you support before 2004?
Beep off franchise.
Oh, right, I was thinking it was the one down there that got a bit after it. Losing to the odious franchise can never be brushed off easily.
Bleep off franchise, you tin pot bleep fans. A morgue until the 90th minute. #no history.
The official plastic football club.
Horrible club, horrible manager.
Franchise FC, we love you.
MK Dons have no fans because they all done the right thing and stuck with AFC Wimbledon. What a joke of a club.
Oh, fantastic. Anyway, thanks for that. Please keep your suggestions coming in. They're actually flying in. I have to do very little digging these days. People point them out to me on Twitter all the time, so thank you for that. Just a quick message from Lisa, who said she's seen a Bolton fan tweeting saying, "Take note, official BWFC." That's not right, is it? BWFC. MK Dons have 4 working screens. I repeat, 4 working screens. Which clearly means they haven't actually looked at them much.
And we got a better manager than you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let this lie.
The lexicon of chaff. Of chaff.
Given I invented this phrase, I've been waiting for a very long time to do this. It's the Lexicon Time, the part of the show where each week we educate you, yes you, the educated elite, into the ways of the ITV2 watching feral underclass that seemingly run our planet, while providing detailed translation of common street talk. This week the phrase under scrutiny is, "Man should make mad ting, bare people spend bid shekel for sure." I'm not sure that was how it should have been said, but
that sounded pretty good to me. Could you just do it? So the phrase is mad ting, common usage.
Man should make mad ting, bare people spend big shekel for sure.
I'm expecting to see a gangster when I raise my eyes because it sounds fantastic. It's intimidating.
This is how they spoke when I went to Royal Latin. This is how it works. By definition, by Jove, old fellow, I believe we should invert such a device, as I believe the population will be prepared to buy it regardless of the cost.
No, that doesn't sound convincing.
Widely and incorrectly believed to originate from the 2004 hit film The Football Factory, its first recorded usage actually originates from the Whetstone of Wit, first published in 1557, which is the shortened title of Robert Record's mathematical book, The Whetstone of Witter, which is the second part of Arithmetic, containing the extraction of roots, the Cossite practice, with the rule of equation, and the works of surd numbers. The Whetstone of Wit is also, for the record, the first place that the equal sign is noted as being used and identified. Before that, nothing equaled anything.
Thank you. I've got to say, I know how much Modders wanted Albie to read that one.
I can imagine.
There is a lot of... Thank you, Modders. Bless. We'll get him to do it again. He's not listening anyway. Okay, thank you very much. It's time for this.
Join me, Gary Fitz, every Monday night, 10 o'clock.
Leading the fight, one man fate has made indestructible. His name...
Gary Fitz here.
2 hours of the coolest tunes, every Monday night, 10 o'clock.
You're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show on Seklo Sounds, because you have nothing better to do.
You're indeed listening to the MooCamp Radio Show here on Seklo Sounds, and we had a match last night. Oh, we didn't do it earlier. Hands.
Hand.
Just quickly, hands for earlier. Hand.
Oh, yeah, hand as well.
Yeah. That's good then. So that's 100% again. Why is that?
Modders isn't here.
Modders is not here.
Hey, there we go. Okay, well, what do we think about last night then? A little more positive, perhaps.
The second half was, I still think the first half was an absolute shambles, quite frankly. The first half was appalling.
I think you're being a little harsh there, if I may say so.
I don't.
Oh, that's all right then. Clear,
My
clear
take
that up.
on it, like you were saying, is...
Cheers, can you give us your take on this?
My take on this is they were the better team for the first half, but you can only win a football game by scoring more goals than your opposition. They had how many? They had about 11 corners, didn't they?
I checked it last night, it was 13.
11 in the first half.
That's,
Was it 11 in the first half?
Yeah.
you can have as many corners as you like, but if you can't put them away, then...
Would it be wrong to say that if they can't put a goal past us with 11 corners,
basically,
there is something horribly wrong with their attack?
So far this season, they haven't put a goal past anybody. In fact, they've just equalled their club record of 6 games in a row without scoring.
I mean, they were having a good old go at it, but I think, I'm being a bit sensible tonight. It's kind of freaking me out a bit. That, I thought our defence done all right, because as soon as it came, instead of sort of monkeying about with it like we usually do, try and pass it out, we just booted it, even if it was going for corners or out for throw-ins, and I'm thinking, that's much better than this trying to play it out, which we were sort of doing Saturday and losing it. I'd much rather they just rose-eddied it than what they were doing. So have as many corners as you like, Neil and your big stupid mate. You didn't score for one of them.
Defensively, we were very, very good. It was just a lot like the Preston game, just lots of huffing and puffing, no imagination into the attacking at all. Church and then later Gallagher just lumbering around, not really doing a great deal. My dad, who stands next to me, didn't really notice for about 10-15 minutes that Gallagher had come on, because it's like, well, the two of them are so interchangeable of lumbering around doing
really,
a naffle.
I mean, like I did say earlier on, but I think Church was just that was a poor display. I mean, I must admit, it really was. It wasn't really a poor display, wasn't it? Because he didn't really do anything. To have a poor display, you're trying to do stuff and it's not coming off. He did nothing, basically. I don't feel very sorry for him. I'm going to be honest. He just has to be better. Basically.
I'm sensing that. To me, in the first half, we just pretty much cancelled each other out in lots of it. I think we were better than we. I was actually quite pleased with the way we responded after Saturday.
For sure, definitely.
We could have gone in a number of different ways, and like you say, they're an established championship club.
Not long since being a Premiership.
And very noisy support to start off with.
So shut them up, Neil and your big mate.
Indeed, Neil and your big mate. Yeah, who's his big mate?
Johan, he was at Celtic as well.
Okay.
I don't like him.
I've heard of them. That's a Scottish team, isn't it?
No,
okay.
Anyway, considering that we didn't have either Hall for obvious reasons or like Reeves, I thought we were good, because I think Reeves is definitely our playmaker.
It's really
I think
important to us.
Yeah, he is.
Maybe that's the creativity that was missing, because there was nothing coming from anybody else.
You're right.
But
Dave,
I'm very impressed second half.
Dave, he kept us in it.
Well, Dave kept us in it, and I think his distribution at times was very suspect.
I'll tell you what doesn't bloody help.
I've just remembered something.
What have you just remembered?
I've got some new people round about me. and they're a bit kind of, go on, Dave, and all that, and like this guy's going, like, he's just done that fantastic save. Remember it? About, like, I don't know, say it was a couple of minutes. Oh, well done, Dave. Oh, Dave. And then he kicked out and he goes, oh, for God's sake, just like real tore into it. I just thought, 2 minutes ago you thought he was God's gift to goalkeepers.
Actually, and that's another bloody thing, right?
It's a bit harsh.
No.
Come on.
This has been annoying me for a while, more than the Carl telling us what to sing thing, right? If Dave's distribution is suspect, shouting at him to tell him to hurry up and take the kick or the throw isn't going to help. There's a mate of mine who stands near me who said the same thing again, that back end of last season, every time Kyle would pass the ball back to Dave and then try and distribute out to Jordan or whatever, everyone at the back in our stand would start going, oh, as if it's the other keeper. That doesn't help. How stupid do you have to be?
Every time they were getting on his back for that, there wasn't a ball on. He's actually, I think he's extremely good at moving the ball when there's an option.
I think there were 1 or 2 exceptions where there might have been, but vast majority of the time
you're
right.
wrong. I'm trying to support you here.
I'm saying you're 10% wrong.
Do people not realise that
Thanks.
When he picks the ball up and he doesn't like instantly, kick it out or anything, it's because he's waiting for everyone to get back into their preferred positions so that we're all set up for an attack.
And unfortunately, the person that he normally kicks it to is the slowest at getting back into his position.
He kicks it the same place every time.
But it's great. I mean,
which last night was right in Neil Lennon's head. That was really fun.
Before we run out of time, can we have a word about Jordan Spence, please?
Oh,
yes, let's talk about Jordan Spence.
Last season, he was really good, and then it's like some sort of switch was flicked around the time he played centre-back at Bradford away, and he was awful. And then the rest of the season, he was pants. He was rubbish. He's come back. It's like a new man. I think he's better than the original Spence.
Yeah, he was much better last night. He was
absolutely. Last 2 games, I think against Preston,
very good.
Absolutely superb. Good to see him back to his best.
Someone's written on a bit of paper.
Defensively, we're really good.
What's that?
Someone's written on this bit of paper, Kyle's miss. Oh, it's hilariously funny.
Spectacular.
He was going, come on!
Anybody else on the pitch, possibly including the ref, would have scored that.
It was funny.
Anybody else.
People were like laughing, weren't they? I mean, no one was giving him a hard time. Everyone thought it was hilarious.
Had they gone up the other end and scored, that would have been an issue. But that was just so funny.
It was only because I knew there were 30 seconds of stoppage time left. I thought, thank God for that.
This is my last thing I'm going to say about old Neil Wright. Did you hear...
and his big mate.
Yeah, his big mate.
Did you hear Robbo on the radio last night when you were driving home?
I did.
What did you think about his attitude to winning? Because I know I've got an agenda against Neil, and I don't know if I'm making it clear enough, but it felt to me... I mean, I know they're not best mates, but they're big mates, aren't they? And I think he was almost apologising last night for winning. He goes,
I know what you mean, yeah.
It was poor. Did you hear it?
I don't often hear the radio interviews, and I did hear that one.
It was
and
a bit of a
we've just won
thing,
our first game of the championship. Come on, actually
enjoy it,
get your top off and celebrate like the rest of us.
Don't Neil and big Johan, just think, shut up about them. You've just won.
It's like and this comes back to what I was saying from the Rotherham game. It's not like Robbo's afraid of getting sacked. It's like he's afraid of any manager being sacked. Ever. Anywhere.
I wouldn't be adverse to Neil Lennon getting the sack, to be quite honest.
And his big mate.
And his
big mate.
I'm not keen on his big mate either, but
Just quick words for Daniel Powell, if we can.
Oh,
lovely finish.
Fantastic finish. I was chuffed to bits with the lad.
I really was.
Yeah.
I mean, how long was he on the pitch? 4 minutes?
About 4 or 5 minutes before he scored.
And that boy used to play for Man United, their goalkeeper.
I was going to say, not Daniel Powell.
No.
And speaking of people with initials DP, Darren Potter.
Darren Potter,
great performance.
Absolutely
really
fantastic last. That tackle. Well, hey, I've seen the phrase used today, Moore-esque, and I think it was. I thought it was an absolutely amazing tackle. I worship him at times, and I did then.
And his tackle.
And his tackle. Bearing in mind, we're 20 minutes over, or 20 minutes off of our schedule.
But only 15 minutes off the watershed.
That's true. Yes.
Do you know what was magnificent? Us fans
Darren
in
Potter's
the stands.
tackle.
Yeah. We were good in the second half, weren't we? I thought it was good. We made a lot of noise.
That's a quote from Robbo there.
Yeah, he said we were fantastic.
You fans were magnificent.
And he'd never just say that.
No, he wouldn't. I
did receive a tweet last night from a Bolton fan saying that was the worst home support I've ever seen in all my time watching Bolton.
What did you think of them as fans?
First 20 minutes, very loud, very noisy.
Didn't hear a peep after.
Yeah, next to nothing after
I've
that.
written one last thing down here. Who's exceptional?
This is the fourth time.
Is this about Neil Lennon's
it's
big
not
mate?
about Neil Lennon or his
It
big
is, though,
mate.
isn't it?
What did you think of the turnout? Because I was ecstatic for over 10,000.
I was expecting about 8.5.
Yeah, I thought that's a really... And that's a big step up for us on a Tuesday.